Right. Welcome to Behind the Clock. We will be picking up where we left off last week. These guys made it off of Nurton, but they triggered a missile defense satellite because Nurton is a red zoned, embargoed world, and they did get hit. 2 out of 3 missiles hit them, and we will get to the effects of that in but a moment. Zvart was trapped in the turret of the pulse laser there for a bit, but I believe that Audrey got him out. And they are limping their way back to the Scander. And they were also being followed by a Imperial patrol corvette, Type T patrol corvette, the Kaaniis. And Xerxes hacked into the satellite network and re-aimed the missile satellites on the Kaaniis and opened fire. And the Kaaniis has been hit. I forget how many it took, but it was enough. It was enough that I wasn't even going to really roll to see how bad it was because I knew it was bad. And so it is adrift and has sent out a signal GK, and these guys have decided that they are going to help, but first they're going to go back to Skander because their own ship is severely damaged itself, and so that's where we will be picking up. So the first thing that we need to do. So you guys took like half of your hull points in damage.
Yes.
And that equals out to about 5. I'm going to round it down to 4. 4 critical hits, and so whoever wants to can go ahead and roll 2d.
I do not want to blow up the ship.
I'll do it. I feel confident.
I will note that I did say that Clanker was standing by for repairs if need be.
Right.
If that helps. I don't know if that does or not, but
Now is
I
the
rolled a
need
9.
be.
So you got a 9. Let me fix my dice window. There we go. So cargo bay was hit. Go ahead and roll again.
Okay. Cargo base fine. 7.
Hull was hit. Go ahead and roll again.
5.
That's good that you're spreading them. Oh, that was a weapon hit. That means that's probably how Zvart got stuck in the turret.
Yeah, makes sense.
And go ahead and roll one last time.
And last one, an 8.
Maneuver drive was hit. So what does that tell us? So the weapon, there is a DM -1 to attacks with it. The hull, God, takes another 5 points of damage from a critical hit to the hull, which means you guys are really limping. Maneuver drive, all checks to control the spacecraft suffer a -1. And the cargo bay, you didn't have any cargo. 10% of cargo would be destroyed.
That's fine.
So yeah, your ship is your little shuttle here is really hurting. So it takes the better part of a day to get back to the Skander.
Well, hold on. One thing though, I would like to radio the what is it? The Corvette? I think you said.
Yeah.
Corvette? Yeah.
Type T patrol corvette.
Yeah. Well, I do want to radio the. The plan was to radio the Corvette and ask them for a damage report and casualty list. So that we know what to expect, because it might actually be the case that we can't even render the assistance that they need, and we're just be like, cut all power except life support and wait for a proper rescue ship, So yeah,
Right.
I would like to do that.
I assume the scanner's also going to try to meet us too. I'm sure they can go pretty fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Skander will try to meet you part way. So you're looking at about a half day's journey. Let me look at Merchant Cruiser Scander. So yeah, it's got thrust too. It's not quite as fast as the shuttle. You're looking at a little over half a day of travel time for the two of you to meet in the middle. Here, let's see, how bad is.
I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing he's rolling high.
Okay, so they took their cargo bay got hit, their maneuver drive got hit. They took 2 to their armor. What does it say for armor? There it is. Their armor is reduced by 1 point. And then they took 2 to the jump drive. Their jump drive is completely disabled. So they didn't take any to their power plant or let's see. Yeah, they didn't take any damage to their power plant or to the bridge. And I find it interesting looking at this critical hit location table, and it never occurred to me until you guys were talking about it. There's no critical hit for life support.
Oh, that seems odd.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose, if your power plant gets hit, that could cause some serious life support issues. But yeah, no direct critical effect for life support. That's very strange. But anyways, so they are basically stuck here until repairs can be effected to their jump drive. Their maneuver drive having been hit, the craft is having about the same kinds of problems that your ship is now having as far as steering goes, and so and of course they've lost some of their armor. They're beat up, and so with that they have sent out a signal GK. They have set a course for the refueling station, but the refueling station is essentially just refueling. There's very little in the way of any repair work that can be done there. I want to. Why don't I look? I was gonna say I wanted to say that it's. I'm not even sure it classifies. Yeah, it doesn't even classify. This system doesn't even classify as having a station. I mean, this gas station that's floating there is essentially what they did is they took a whole bunch of cored out ship hulls and then attached girders and connected them together with um, like airlock docking cradles and they just kept kind of adding onto it. So it's this ramshackle junkyard of a space station, and they have drones that go out and skim fuel from the gas giant. So it is not fantastic. um, but they've set their maneuver drive course, so basically they're kind of following a ways behind you. They're kind of limping along. It doesn't say maneuver drive. All checks are minus. Oh, at 2 if they would have taken a second hit to that maneuver drive, their thrust would have been reduced by 1, and it only gets worse from there. So,
Do we want them to maneuver, or do we want maybe to just tell them if they move, I'll shoot them again with the stations? What do you guys think?
well,
What
I
do you mean?
mean,
No, I think we should be peaceful for the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
they are broadcasting a signal GK. I mean, if you were to attack them while they are broadcasting an SOS signal, then that would flip all of this around and make you instantly into the bad guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
War crimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
war crimes.
So okay, I mean, well, we radio them. We'll render assistance as soon as we get to our we'll render assistance momentarily. Put all weapons. How do I say this?
Keep weapons turned off, maybe.
Well, I want everybody disarmed. So all weapons turned off. If we see somebody holding a weapon, they're going to get shot. That's just the answer.
I mean, it is an SOS, but they're also an Imperial naval ship.
That's exact. Don't forget, I served in the Imperial Navy. So
yeah, I don't know that any captain of an Imperial Navy ship is going to agree to that.
Well, then they can. Then I guess they're not getting assistance, are they? If Zerzy, if you wanna, I'll open a comms channel for you. If you wanna impress on them that their assistance is assistance to an Imperial vessel in orbit around a non-Imperial world from a non-Imperial ship is not wow, I'm having problems talking. Basically, the issue is that we're not obligated to help them. They're here illegally, and if they want help, they better do as we say.
Yeah, no amount of diplomacy is going to get a captain of an Imperial ship, Imperial naval ship that has 8 Marines aboard and 4 gunners. There's no way that a captain on a military vessel on maneuvers that just took damage and is broadcasting an SOS is going to disarm.
I thought you meant like disarm like their ship weapons, but we'll worry about the personal weapons when we actually get closer to them, I would say.
Yeah, we'll just go for the first part of the message.
Well, okay.
Right now.
Casimir explains the thing that I'm concerned about is that since we do know they have Marines, and they're an Imperial vessel, I'm afraid that they'll do a counterboarding action.
We have like 50 members of our crew. I think we'll be okay.
If they got a single guy in battle dress, but okay.
They don't want to start an international incident, which will happen if, let alone the ship gets damaged, and also if I get hurt, I can go talk to Zoldani consulate and
assuming they don't they don't space vapor us. But okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, or can we offer them to dock on the scanner since they're headed that way?
I mean, yeah. I mean, their only other option is to dock at this refueling post and wait, essentially, for another flotilla to come through. I mean, what are the odds that another naval flotilla is going to come through this way? I mean, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that you saw such a large Imperial fleet come through Nurten already. But I mean that's not. I mean, it's not entirely unusual, but I mean they could be waiting at this fuel station for this fuel depot for weeks, if not months.
How much?
Yeah, Audrey would say that we can tell them to dock on the scanner and we'll help them with repairs.
I think it's fairly simple. Just that we'll pull the scanner up and then be like, if you want us to attach and start helping you guys repair, there's gonna be no hostilities. And if there is, then the big ass fucking turrets on the fucking merchant cruiser We'll vaporize your ship.
That's true. I mean, so it's not like the patrol corvette. The patrol corvette can't dock in or on Scander. It's a 400-ton ship, but it can pull up and connect to airlocks and things like that. I was looking at the deck plans.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I was looking.
They can float over and attach.
Right,
and then if they want our help now, or they can wait weeks at the depot.
Yeah, I was looking at the deck plans for this patrol corvette, and I do not see anywhere an airlock. Now, I think
Well, they should have one. I mean, it's impossible for a ship to be built without one.
Right, and I think the rear section of deck 2 is what opens up. I believe that's where and it goes right into the cargo bay, which I guess would make sense if you're staging, Marines or whatever. But very strange that it doesn't have a dedicated airlock. Instead, it's just the only answer for egress is the cargo bay. It's a little weird for a patrol corvette. But anyways, it is they can facilitate that. Yeah, I mean, they would be the captain of the Kaaniis is willing to make it to the Scander, and I mean, of course, this patrol corvette is not to the point of it's not to the point of being scuttled, but let's see. What's his cargo? He's got 47 tons of cargo space. I would imagine that probably on a naval ship, probably a good half of that. So he's probably got about 23 tons worth of spares. Except he's only got 2 engineers. And they really got beat up by those missiles. So, yeah, any assistance that could be rendered by Scander would be very much appreciated. And the captain's he brings up that there must have been some kind of error in the satellite network around Nurten. He says because those satellites fired on both of us. And
I wonder who put them there.
Yes, let's go with that story.
And he also brings up that he at the time that the satellites went active, he was not certain of what position your shuttle was in. So he doesn't know. What he claims is that he doesn't know if you were on the planet or were close to the planet or just close enough for the satellites to aim and fire. So
is that him talking over the radio? Or is that like once we get to his ship?
No, that's him talking over the radio as you guys are making your way to Scander.
Yeah, all right.
So it takes you about a half a day. Casimir, you can go ahead and make a piloting small craft plus dexterity check, and you're at -1 for that.
Yeah, because of the damage maneuver drive.
Oh, still made that look easy.
Yeah, okay. Now that I'm piloting, now that I'm no longer dealing with the stupid, magnetic field, I'm finally flying well again.
Right? Yes, that magnetic field was messing with my dice. So yeah, you, like I said, you make that look easy, and you bring the shuttle in and dock aboard the Scander. I think it's 11. Yes, it is. You dock into one of these docking berths on deck 3. And so Magnus meets you guys at in the at the docking berth, and once you get out, he's kind of marveling at how beat up this shuttle is, and he tells you that the first thing that he wants to know is if you found anything. Because
This is where
you were down on that planet, and did you find anything?
have Svart be all sword worldy and tell him all the great things that he has, because Svart has all the good
Right.
relics and stuff.
Right, and if I remember, Sart and I, well, we kind of discussed it. It looked like he was going to hand it over, and so Svart hands over this laminated letter, basic or communique from Grand Admiral Denisov, and Magnus's eyes light up. Let me look. Yes, Magnus is exceptionally impressed. My satisfaction. There it is. Okay. Without even having to roll, you guys get maximum on that. But all of you can roll 2d, and so so Zerzi, you can roll 2d and you get a +2 to that. So
Okay.
4 is not, or Audrey's 2 does nothing. Casimir succeeds. And the crew is super happy with you. The crew is like in awe of Casimir's piloting abilities once they actually see, or the rumors start to spread around the ship of what this shuttle looked like when you guys came in. Zerzi,
Might be 11 in total.
the crew is exceptionally impressed with you as well, having basically the way that you have negotiated and worked in or with this patrol corvette that is inbound for Skander, kind of removing the tension of the situation and keeping things diplomatic thus far. The crew is very impressed with you, and there is a rumor going around the crew that there was some kind of electronic warfare that you were involved with in this entire situation.
It would definitely show Magnus my little cleaning acidic monster I have.
Yeah, so I mean, he takes it, or he's willing to take it from you, and possibly put it in like a terrarium or something, as I guess a life form, that, and he says he doesn't really have any use for it, but it's possible that we could sell it to somebody who's looking for kind of an oddity or a pet on another world. This isn't really a science mission, so he doesn't know what else to do with it.
Think of it as an exotic pet that somebody may want. A weird acid thing that eats any kind of biological thing. So.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And so, yeah, he He takes that off your hands, and somebody on this boat's got a terrarium of some type that will store it until then. So, probably another half day. So it's getting to the evening part. The Kaaniis finally catches up and is able to dock. Well, maybe. Yeah, they are able to dock with Scander and Magnus. You guys are on the bridge when the ship docks, and oh, sorry, my cat's getting into something. I was like, what the hell is that? So you guys are on the bridge, and Magnus. He basically with the comms off, he makes it known that he says, these are Imperials, as we have before, when we docked in Imperial docks. We're going to put on a show. He goes, everybody needs to be in their cleanest, finest, most best ironed outfit, uniforms. Everybody should be in tip-top shape, and we don't want to make any mistakes and embarrass ourselves. He then goes over and he flips the switch for the comms and invites the captain of the Kaaniis over to dine with him tonight, while you three go over and inspect the damage on the Kaaniis.
Yeah, but I want to get a look at the captain before we at some point like run into him by the corridor, and I want to attempt to like do a surface scan of his mind.
Okay. So okay, so you guys meet this captain at the airlock as they are coming over. Go ahead and I mean, and he's wearing his Imperial Navy uniform, and he shakes all of your hands. He seems quite cordial. He's not, of course, exuberant, but he does seem a little bit suspicious, and he returns the salute to Casimir. Casimir, you can go ahead and make a Psi plus telepathy check.
Okay, well, if it's 5+, then that's a success. Barely, but
Let's see. Is it 5+?
I think surface thoughts is maybe even 4+, unless he's got something.
No, it's 8+.
Oh, well, then I get nothing. Really? Surface thoughts is 8+? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Average
I
8+
nothing.
telepathy check, 1d times 10 seconds. So yeah, you don't get anything.
Yeah, I don't get nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing.
Does he do us anything seeing my Jodani ass looking at him all fine and fancy?
Not necessarily. He doesn't say anything openly. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this was well known with the Fourth Frontier War, which honestly was what, close to 600 to 1,000 years ago. But it was well known that sword wielders and the Jodani at that time were pretty much whenever a frontier war or a situation breaks out, more often than not, the sword worlds kind of pairs up with the Jodani. Whether that is, I don't know. I don't know what the exact reasoning is. It doesn't, on the surface, it doesn't appear that the Confederation and the Jodani Consulate have any great diplomatic ties or love affair with one another. But at the same time, the sword worlds always allies with the Jodani. And the odd thing about that is that it's never really worked out for the Sword Worlds. So here I will show you this. I believe it's over here. So during the Fourth Frontier War, pretty much this area right here. These, let's see, Smaug, Olympia, Warden, Tenalfi, Zybon, all of those used to be Sword World Confederation planets. And the Sword Worlds had a tenuous, at best, grasp on those worlds. At the end of the Fourth Frontier War, the treaties that were signed ceded these worlds to the Third Imperium, and these are now known as the Lunian Shield worlds. And of course, calling them, I mean, it is the unofficial name as the Lunian Shield worlds, which kind of gives it this idea that the Warden and Olympia and Smaug are the bastion worlds that are protecting the Imperium from an invasion of the Sword Worlds, and that's not really what's happening at all. These three, are all pretty much considered backwaters on the Spinward Main, and so the reality is, at most, they would be good staging areas for fleet movements, but they're not the shield wall that the unofficial name would imply that they are. There's the most that you're going to see is at Warden, which has a very small naval base there, and that's about the most of it. So like I said, it's never worked out for the Sword Worlds, but it is well known that there are some kind of diplomatic ties between the Sword Worlds Confederation and the Jodani Consulate. And so seeing Jodani on a Sword World merchant ship is not that unusual. What might be considered unusual, like, how are you dressed?
I'm fancy as fuck. I'm definitely showing that I'm of a noble rank.
So that might be a little odd. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't bring anything up about you being a Jodani and he doesn't act like he's shocked to see you on a Sword World merchant cruiser.
Okay.
Did you want to try to read surface thoughts or do anything psionic?
I've kind of burnt a lot of my psionic. I'll try it. I'm probably gonna fail because I've used a lot of my psionics, but I'll try.
Well,
it.
it's been at this point it's been almost an entire day.
Oh, okay,
and you gain a point back every. Let me see. It says
1 point per hour.
Is it 1 point?
Beginning 3 hours. 1 point per hour. 3 hours after the traveler last used a psionic talent.
Okay, so you would have regained, I would say, at least 3 points.
3 or 4, because I was missing 4.
Probably 3.
Okay.
There just hasn't been enough time.
Yeah,
overall.
so that's telepathy, right?
It is.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, it's telepathy. Read surface thoughts.
8.
Oh, nice.
How many points does that cost? Is that 3 point? Or...
It's 2. So
okay.
His surface thoughts. He is highly suspicious. Mostly because of, I mean, he was suspicious that about this entire thing. He's not entirely he wasn't entirely truthful that they weren't sure where your shuttle was at when all of the missiles started flying. They knew. But it seems that from reading his surface thoughts, one, he is not pressing the issue mostly because his ship took so much damage in from the missiles as well. And two, um, he is in a hurry because of some major event that is beginning to take place on the borders, specifically around Jewel.
Okay, I'll make a mental of that, and when he comes to me like to like say hi, I will make sure that I say my full name with my title, so he knows that I'm essentially an officer, but as in a noble wise, and let him know that if something would have happened, it would have harmed a noble, which is not very good if he has any common sense.
So he doesn't verbally or outwardly show any signs that he has noted this. This is all stuff that you've
Oh yeah, that
basically gotten from reading his surface thoughts. And because they're just surface thoughts, you're not really able to you're not able to really tell what's going on in Jewel, but fleets are moving all around the Imperium, and it has the most that you can get is it has something to do with the Jodani.
okay. I'll save that for after the meet and greet, but I'll be all very proper and diplomatic as I should be. But yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, Magnus, of course, introduces you, tells the captain that you are going to be the crew to go over. The captain behind him, standing in the airlock, is one of the ship's engineers, the chief engineer, and he introduces this guy. And that's his name. It's just this guy. He's a mook, and he introduces you, and he tells you, this is our chief engineer, and he is going to work with you and kind of show you where the biggest trouble spots are, and hopefully you can assist them, and then we can be on our way.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
Yeah, Audrey has her toolbox with her, and she says, lead the way to the chief engineer to go make repairs.
So I don't know that you guys would. I don't know that the two of you would detect that each other is using psionics. I mean, of course, the Imperial propaganda that Casimir would have grown up with is that every Jodani is a psion. Um, Zerzi would be the first to tell you that that's not true. Pretty much only the noble class. There's basically the haves and the have-nots in Zodani society, and the proles, the standard person on the street, is not psionic. They're as normal as everybody else. But in fact, I believe that Zerzi's like, isn't he lower on the psionic end than most nobles?
Yeah, I've put all my time and effort into my job and my diplomacy route. I didn't really educate myself on psionics that much.
Yeah. So once, and I mean, Jodani kids, I mean, they start being tested like early, like 3-4 years old, and are tested throughout up through adolescence. And so when they find these kids that are psionic, these kids are basically taken from their parents and given to a nobleman or somebody in the upper echelons of society to be raised in that environment, because they are now going to be trained to be the psionics or possibly the psionic commandos or even the secret police. They do have a secret police whose job is really to kind of go around and do pretty much what you just did, read surface thoughts. and they will randomly pick people out of a crowd. And the whole idea of it is that the Jodani society, they want everybody to be happy in whatever job or career that they are in, or whatever lifestyle that they're in. And if they detect through these read surface thoughts or empathy or what have you, if they detect people that are unhappy, those people are pulled aside. Now, the Imperium will tell you that they're thought police. They will pull you out. They will send you to re-education camps, and that is partially true. But it's not like it's not from the Jodani viewpoint. It's not that bad because they are actually working with these people to put them into a position where they are going to be happy with their lives. And so, I mean, you know, there could be arguments made on both sides. I don't necessarily know that it's like the re-education camps in Russia or China or anything like that. I don't know that is the case, but um, I certainly don't think it's as dire and bad as the Third Imperium makes it out to sound. So he introduces you to these guys, and they bring you on over to the Kaaniis, and I was smart enough to grab that. So, yeah, the airlocks evidently are on the rear and send you right into the cargo bay, which is convenient because that is kind of where all the important stuff is. Anyway, these are power plants, while the maneuver drive. So down below on deck 3, they have a docking space and a G carrier, and up on deck 1, you've got more power plants. You've got maneuver drive and you've got jump drive, right? That's right.
Jump drive is number 10. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yep. As 9 is jump drive. So yeah, that is accessed from this lift right here. Or wait, one of these goes up. Oh, I see. Well, probably this left right here. And will take you up or take you down to their engineering section. And so, all of you. Oops. So if they could make this so that the disable grid snapping on tokens is like a permanent setting, that would be awesome.
Mm.
There we go. You guys up here. Okay, good. So yeah, these two engineers lead you down. Now the one engineer, their chief, he's he's probably in his mid to late 30s. Looks like he's been serving on Imperial ships for some time. Um, the other engineer is a young guy. Looks like he is probably 24. And from just the small amount of interaction that you've had with him, he is not the sharpest tack in the box. But he seems like he's probably pretty good at turning a wrench. But he hasn't even been in the Navy for all that long. This is like his first term in the Navy. So this other guy is basically babysitting him and trying to show him the ropes. Whoever would like to can make a engineering J drive plus intellect or education check.
Ooh, okay, let's see.
Engineering.
Is that Audrey's?
Rats.
Well, I mean, do you have? Oh, well, that's there. You go. So, yeah, you look it over and you can see that essentially this section of the ship on deck one, down at the bottom of the vessel, it took 2 direct hits from these missiles, and their jump drive is messed up. With your 8, you think that with the 3 of you possibly working together, or with Casimir and the 2 engineers from the ship, you think that you can get this probably fixed up in a day or so.
I can have Clanker help out too. He has mechanics
And that would shorten it even
or
further.
engineer. Do you want me to have him roll also?
I mean, if you want Clanker to just immediately get started, yeah, you can have him roll his engineering.
He only got a 6.
Well, so this is Clanker, the crew droid.
Yeah, it's a +1 to any kind of engineering.
Yeah, engineering all 1.
Honestly, we're probably running the same expert soft.
Probably yes. Audrey, what are you assisting with repairs? You could make a either engineer plus intellect or education check. Could also just make a mechanic plus.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Audrey, you can direct Audrey what to do, and she's going to have a wrench and turning loose bolts.
Sure. Go ahead and make a mechanic plus.
Nice.
Mechanic plus strength check.
Oh, mechanic plus strength?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mechanic plus strength. 7.
Well, you are turning bolts. You and Clanker are having about the same amount of luck, but Casimir and these 2 engineers are both working. It's even with the assistance, it still looks like it's going to take about a day. What is Xerxes doing? I mean, you're not really engineering.
I was just actually writing it down, but I'll just say it. So basically, I'm going to look at the chief and just say, well, I'm here to both supervise and to help out with electrical engineering.
I'm the supervisor.
If you want me to run diagnostics on your computers or anything like that, I can do that kind of stuff. And I kind of point to my tablet. I'm just like, that's what I do. I do computer shit.
So the immediate response from the chief. So at first, the younger engineer is like, oh well, yeah, we'll probably need to test that. The chief engineer kind of cuts him off. Says, no, we can't really allow that. We'll have to do any computer diagnostics ourselves.
I'll just keep an eye on things for now. I may do something sneaky when the time is right.
Okay. So about a day goes by. You go through at least 2 tons worth of spares, getting these drives back into shape. I'll let Casimir. You can go ahead and make a engineering J drive plus intellect or education check, and whatever you get will direct any kind of bonus or penalty that Audrey and Clanker will take.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my engineering. Well, only a 7 this time.
So Audrey, you can make a mechanic plus strength or dexterity, your choice, but you're at a -1.
Ooh, okay, I'll choose dexterity.
And Clanker can make a engineering J drive, but he's at -1.
So he did shit also.
Yikes. So you guys are working on it. Come to find out, it's going to take a little bit longer. The drive took more damage than you initially thought. Um, uh, but you've been working at it throughout the night. You guys haven't even really had a chance to bed down yet. The chief engineer says, "Well, he goes, he goes, we've been working on this. I think we all need some rack time." He goes, "I'm going to radio the captain and give him an update on repairs, and um, you you can go back to your guys' ship and bed down
I,
for a while, and then we'll come back to it in the morning."
I wouldn't feel right. Besides, I'm a licensed medic. I have adrenalizer.
I'll just pop stims. I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just offering it. It's like we could do that, but I imagine you don't want to be here. We don't want to be here. Let's just get this done.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuade plus social check.
Persuade plus social. I don't really have persuade, so okay. That's just gonna be 2d6 minus 3. Uh, would the fact that I'm like ex-Navy help in this case at all, or no?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you a +2 to the roll because you're ex-Navy.
Okay. That's still a 5. So,
So yeah, he's like, no. He goes, I try to stay away from the stems. The kid on the other end is like, yeah, I'll take it. um, so I'm looking here. Let's see. Wow, this is some serious shit. 36 hours of alertness.
yeah, it's basically meth. Call it what it is.
And then after 36 hours, you have 2D times 5 minutes to find some place to lay down.
Yeah.
So effective dex and intellect will decrease by 1 per hour until the user begins a sleep. Oh wait, initial recovery requires 10 or more hours. Oh, I see. So if you take an additional dose, then then your dex and your intellect decrease by 1 per hour until you do a sleep period. So I mean, are you and the young engineer taking it?
Do I think we have a reasonable shot of fixing it within the 8 hours we would win? No. If it's either all or none. No, fine.
Okay.
We'll take the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, all or none.
Okay. So so the chief engineer radios over, and you can hear the captain from the he's been over on Scander the entire time, and he doesn't seem like he's overly enthusiastic about this. About it sound the impression that Casimir gets is that essentially this chief engineer sold him a bill of goods, telling him, "Oh yeah, it's no big deal. We'll just we got all the parts. We'll just fix it and be on our merry way." And now it's proving to be more complicated, and it's supposed the engineer is supposed to do the opposite of that. He's supposed to say, "Oh, it's going to take 10 hours," when in reality it's only going to take 5. And then if you work really well and get it done in 2, you look like a rock star. And instead, this guy did it in the reverse, and so the captain is just not overly happy about this, and you can hear that in his voice. But you guys go back over and back to your ship, and you have basically 8 hours that you can crash out for a while. Are you doing anything during this time other than grabbing some food and some sleep?
I'll have my agent monitoring their radio comms for anything of note.
I don't think the agent does that.
I thought you said I had something that I could like hack into like not necessarily hacking into mobile comms, but like maybe just hacking into like communications.
No, the agent is for computers. Communications
I
are
meant like
communications. Computers are computers. The only time where the two meet is when you're basically doing a data signal to try to connect to a system's network, of which I doubt Nerton has one.
hold on, I meant like using my intrusion software, I'm able to like have it try to listen on their comms or anything.
No, because that would be
No?
listening
Okay.
in on comms. You're mixing your telephone and your computer.
Okay.
I mean, you could have the agent essentially try to hack into their computers, but I mean, what agent do you have? Do you have a TL14?
Yeah, let me check. Hold on. I have the tech level 12 one, Agent
Okay,
1.
so they all do the same thing. It's just the bandwidth that they take. So Tech Level 12 uses one bandwidth. It grants a +1 to your electronics computer skill. With agent software provides +1 when used in conjunction with traveler's electronics computer skill rather than autonomous. I see. So you can use an agent in two ways. You can use it to help you if you wanted to try to hack into their computer system. Or you can tell the agent to go basically do it for you. Now, that is the most common case. Like, let's say that you come out of jump and you're in a new system and you want to uh, check the bulletin boards of the main world, but you're still 12 hours out. Well, you're not gonna. The time dilation or the distance is going to be a problem. So you would send your agent to go do it for you. The agent is going to go down the gravity well in the system internet, and it is going to connect to those bulletin boards. It's going to parse through the data that you're looking for. It'll grab that information, and then it will come back to you and report back whatever it was that you want to do, all without you having to be stuck at your computer. You can get up and go do other things while this is running.
Okay.
Or now the downside of that, of course, is then it's only going to have essentially a +1 or let's see, require use of electronic computers.
Well, because intrusion works with your agent. It says.
Yes, it would.
Okay.
Uh,
I guess I'll pull Casimir aside and see what Casimir and Audrey aside and see. While we sleep, should I let my agent do its thing on their ship? You think? There's a chance they may find out. I don't know how good their software is, but
might this be something that I know? How good I expect the software in this kind of ship to be?
well, you know that a Type T patrol corvette's pretty usual. It's usually used by the Imperial Navy for counter piracy and usually policing work. You know that there wouldn't. It's a Tech Level 12 ship. You know there wouldn't be any bonus from his computer for a higher tech level, so they would be meeting on an even keel, so to speak. So I mean, both of you would know that essentially, if it were caught, if there was a mistake, then that is bordering on like an act of war, or at least an act of espionage.
yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm decent with computers. My computer's good, but I don't want to start anything. I want us to always look like we're on the moral ground, high ground here.
Right.
Audrey would say not to do it because you might get caught.
Yeah.
I would say nothing. Okay. I would say if you're gonna do it, we don't like we stay up then.
No, we need rest. I won't do it. I'm gonna. How about that? Can I have? Because I have a security package. Can I have my agent just while we're sleeping to monitor our stuff to make sure we're not being hacked?
That's also a
Is
good
that
Yeah.
a
point.
thing?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you
All right,
can do that.
I'll do that while we sleep.
Okay. So yeah, you guys. I mean, Audrey, are you just grabbing rack time, or are you doing something else? With
Well, yeah, Audrey is going to eat some food and then sleep for the 8 hours to get rested.
Okay. What about Casimir?
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
I was expecting you to say, "I don't know, way. I'm shooting up some adrenalizer. I'm gonna wait till my teeth vibrate." Uh, so, so no. Yeah, you guys bed down, and you're out for 8 hours. Your alarms go off. You wake up. Um, nope. Your agent did not find any attempts at hacking into Scander's system. Um, all right, so you guys go back over the next day. When you get back on into the engineering section, the two engineers are already at work. Um, they're grimy, covered in grease. They are up to their elbows. He that's good, but doesn't give. And the kid's not doing much other than handing him the right tool. Casimir, you can go ahead and make another engineering J drive check. Plus intellect or education, your choice.
Oh,
There you go.
Ooh.
yeah. Turns out I really did need a power nap.
Yeah, evidently. So, Audrey, you can make a mechanic plus strength or dexterity, your choice, and you get a +2 to that.
Okay, yeah. Audrey's going to be busy dug into the panels, wagging her tail, doing the repair work, getting covered in all the oil. Wait, no, did I roll that
Oh,
incorrectly?
There's
It's
two
double
pluses.
plus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, how did
Oops, okay, try again. So wait, mechanic plus
When
2.
you get a +2, you don't actually have to write the plus. Just write the number 2, and then it will.
There we go.
There we go.
Excellent. And go ahead and make a roll for Clanker. He gets a +2 as well.
So he only gets a 6.
Okay. Well, between Casimir and Audrey and the chief engineer, you guys are able to get this thing back up and functioning within about 3 hours. And so
Nice.
you get this whole thing wrenched down, and the engineer comms up to the bridge and reports to the captain that everything is good, and you basically we're ready to go and jump. I mean, all we got to do is move out to the limit, and we can go ahead and set our course. I mean, the astrogation has already been laid in by the bridge, so they're ready to go. Is there anything else you want to do before leaving the ship? I mean, they're literally like, okay, great, let's go ahead and go back to your ship, and we're gonna rescind our docking collar and get the hell out of here.
I just would say one thing to the captain
Sure.
before we leave. I would just tell him. I'd summarize the quick story about how we helped that Imperial noble during that revolution.
Right.
And just say that, even if we're not all Imperials or all Sword Wielders or all Jodani, a lot of us are just trying to live one day at a time and just, keep the peace.
And he says he responds to that. He says that's exactly our mission statement for the Kaaniis, is that our duty is to keep the peace. And he
Okay,
just
that's
kind of
it.
leaves it at that. And so you guys reboard Scander. The captain is or Magnus is rather anxious to get underway. So on the bridge, you find out that he has already set in. Actually, I should have gone. He has already had astrogation do their job and plot a course for Elixabeth. Right, yeah. And he's a little bit. He's a little bit. Um, he's not
Magus,
He's not
we need to talk.
irritated. He's a little bit disappointed because he knows that. So the damage to the shuttle is extensive enough. He doesn't want to continue on with without having both shuttles in good shape because those shuttles are used frequently for ferrying cargo. And so, I mean, they're almost used once you're in the system. Those shuttles are almost used as much or more than Scander is. And so he's planning that the Scander's probably going to have to be in Elixabeth for at least 2 weeks because he's going to want the high port there. He's hoping to have repair work done at Elixabeth High Port. What you know about Elixabeth is that it is a low population colony. The main world is essentially nothing of any consequence. It is a backwater, but they do have a high port there that is considered a Class B high port because it is basically serving as a trade nexus for ships that are moving to Kaaniis or Glisten. And so these, it's got a Class B starport. It can easily affect the repairs on a small craft, no problem. But the damage to the ships, they're probably going to be in there doing Bondo work at least for like 2 weeks. So he intends to do some trading at Elixabeth, but it doesn't sound to you like he is overly enthusiastic about any of the trade opportunities. You guys are more than welcome to do any trade opportunities that you would like, but he does tell you, he's like, because of the work that's to be done on the shuttle, we'll be there for a while, so you're going to have some downtime. Use it however you would like while we're in port. He impresses you upon you that it doesn't matter to him ultimately that there's not very many trade opportunities at Elixabeth, or that you're going to be stuck there for 2 weeks for repairs. And the reason it doesn't matter to him is that whether or not Scander made any money on this merchant cruise, to him, what you found at Nurton makes this entire cruise worth it. And so it's already a success. So it doesn't really matter to him. Of course, he's still going to look for deals, but ultimately, you've already won. And
well,
so
I'm actually gonna hold on before we jump. I'm gonna look at Zerzin and ask, like, well, I mean, did you get like full control over the satellites? Like, do you control the entire network?
Yeah. I mean, I guess as something aside, should I make them? Should I disable them? Should I just crash them into the planet?
Well, so that's my question. If you control them, we have at least one functional shuttle, because as far as I understand, the other shuttle didn't get banged up, right?
right.
So if we want to do a proper, if that the Callus is about to leave, we'll have at least a week probably before anybody else shows up. If we want to pick that ship clean of any, like, of anything of historical or otherwise value, now would be the time to do it. If the satellites are no longer an issue.
Well, I mean, you guys were already down there. There wasn't. I mean, what you brought back with you really is the most pertinent historical information. There's really nothing else left. It's just a old wreck that is buried in the dusty dirt of a rockball planet. You already brought back what is of use. I mean, there was the one power plant that was possible that it could work, but that's not really of any kind of historical value. It's a power
Well,
plant.
that's what I meant. Like there's probably still like some scraps of uniform, like the stuff that we wouldn't have bothered taking, but like that could be worth something to collectors, since I know Xerxes collecting that and presumably reselling. Like,
Yeah,
or okay, I guess I'm asking out of character. Is there a point in bothering or no?
not particularly. Like I said,
Okay,
so the two biggest pieces of historical relevance that you got was that there was a there was the letter,
yeah,
and then in addition to that, it was essentially that letter gives confirmation to
to the black box.
well, it gives confirmation that Admiral Denisov did not die when they said that he did. That he actually
Right.
lived on. Nobody knows, where he went from there. In fact, oh, it's down here. So the Imperium has him basically biting it at Murtactor, but and then the remnants of his fleet did the Battle of Bowman, um, but according to this letter and the information that you found on board that ship, um, evidently that
That's not
wasn't
the
the end
case.
of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But nobody knows where he went from there.
Right. Uh. Well, I mean, you don't really get paid well for historical artifacts, but yeah, okay, fair enough.
In character, I'd have a reason for us to want to jump. I would just tell Magnus, once we jump, we need to have a meeting. Us three, you, the captain, and what the heck's the Swordwell intelligence officer? Is his name Kurt? So,
Yeah, Kurt Savas.
so I'm gonna say that we need him in a meeting immediately. That's all I'm gonna say. We
Okay,
need an immediate meeting.
okay. So, yeah, he gives the order, and the ship jumps. Uh, and he he calls for Kurt, and the five of you meet in one of the common areas. He kind of Magnus kind of asks for the room, and everybody else leaves, and he shuts the door so that you have some privacy. What is it that you are? What are you trying to bring to my attention?
You know that Imperial officer we had over here as we were repairing his ship. I did a quick little surface thoughts read on him, and he's thinking about a lot of Imperial fleets moving to the Jewel, something with Jewel, and worried about the Jordani. And this this is not good. I fear we're on the brink of war.
So, um, so Magnus kind of nods, and Kurt he kind of shakes his head and he says, "Yeah." So he tells you, and he pulls out his mobile comm, and he kind of brings up this map. And honestly, maybe it's not this map, because this map may not even have it on here. I don't think it does. I don't believe it does. But essentially, what he tells you is that over the past probably about a year, there have been a number of Jordani ships that have moved into the demilitarized zone between between the consulate and the Third Imperium. Hold on, let me look at something here. I think I can take care of this problem. Spinward marches. Yeah, this is a good. Man, the traveler map's dragging ass tonight. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. There we go. Throwing another map up here. Okay. So Kurt pulls out his mobile comm and brings up a 3D image. And essentially, what he's showing you, so this entire area, so you got the Jodani consulate here, you've got Third Imperium here. This empty space in between, there's a couple of independent worlds. You'll note that like these two are amber zoned. Narval is amber zoned. Esselin is amber zoned. This whole area is essentially a DMZ. And over the past year, there have been a number of Jodani ships that have moved into this area. Specifically down in this area down here, where they are using these independent worlds as kind of, because there's a main here. And so they're kind of using this to jump over, and they're kind of setting up shop, almost like they're getting ready for something. And he says that this has been known and kept quiet amongst the Sword World's Admiralty for a while, and when he says this, you can see that Magnus's face kind of he just immediately looks like he's pissed off, because Magnus has been trying to bring up to the Admiralty that there is something going on. But he has been looking at it from the side of the Imperial fleet moving in certain ways. And so if he'd have known that the Jodani consulate was moving in, then his information would have made more sense. And instead of confirming what he's been telling them, the Admiralty has been treating him like he's a crazy old man that is just running off with his delusions.
Well, if my people are moving, it's because the Imperial are up to something. It's got to be. I don't see the Jodani starting a war.
The Jodani started every single frontier war that has ever been.
I don't know all this. I'm a new player.
Every single one. They started every one of those of the frontier wars. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't have a just reason for starting a war.
Okay.
But they were always the ones that either moved in and fired the first shot, or you know, told them that their mother smelled of elderberries or something.
Okay.
They did something that started every single one of these frontier wars.
Oh, never mind then. I was going with defensive field.
You know what though? I believe your character would say that. It's just out of game.
Of course.
I'm like laughing at him, like, yeah, that's a load of crap.
Oh, then never mind. Yeah, I would say why not? I mean, if that's how Jojani would be, then yeah, I'd be like, yeah. I mean, we're moving into neutral area, but we're not like invading Imperial space
yet. So, I mean, I don't know how Casimir feels about this. I mean,
He had to go AFK.
Oh, I was gonna say. I mean, he was in the Imperial Navy, so I mean, and having been an Imperial citizen, he would know the history. But yeah, so Magnus is kind of pissed off, not at you, but he is irritated that Kurt didn't confirm anything with him, and he's more pissed off that the Admiralty of the Sword Worlds Confederation has not didn't give him any of this information, which would have made what he was telling them suddenly make more sense. The Imperials are moving their fleets into a position because reacting to the presence of the Jodani fleet. Kurt also tells you one other piece of information that the Sword Worlds Confederation has intelligence from a highly regarded source that suggests that the Jodani have also been moving, doing some intelligence work and moving into the Trojan Reach. Now they're not the Sword Worlds, the Confederation intelligence, naval intelligence, which is what Kurt Avos is a part of. They're not sure what the Jodani are doing down in the Trojan Reach. As far as Kurt Avos is concerned, there's nothing, and probably Casimir would probably be of the same mind. There's nothing in the Trojan Reach except for pirates. So, maybe they're hiring expendable mercenaries or something like that.
Well, yeah, but also Catherine would say, like, what we've been taught, there's nothing there, but he would say, but also we were taught that there's nothing here either. So.
Right. That's true. That's true. So, with that information, is there anything else that you wanted to bring up with Magnus?
Do we have anything else? I mean, I think Svart may know stuff, but he's not here.
Right.
These two haven't been with the ship long enough to really know all the crazy shenanigans.
Yeah, there's been some stuff, and this has been a short campaign. I mean, you guys have gotten into a lot of shit.
No, I would just tell him that I'm fearing that there's a war, and I mean, I feel almost like our mission is almost done. Like, what else are we supposed to do?
Well, it is almost done. The plan at this point is that and he kind of points us out that where you are. So from Elizabeth, this is going to be the inward cruise back. And he plans to go through the Lunian Shield worlds, trying to make a little bit of money on the way, because in addition to these being essentially backwater transfer planets between the Sword Worlds and the Imperium, there is some money to be made there. And what they'll do is they'll at Warden they'll cross over to Iron and then to Biter, and that will be the end of the cruise.
All right, that's all I got. I just wanted to bring up that information because we're supposed to bring intel to them whenever we have it.
Yes. So everybody can add a week to your study periods.
Ooh. Okay. I got engineering now.
Nice.
Yes.
Engineering 0.
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect.
Indeed.
And what is Zerzy working on?
I have one more week left of Diplomat.
Nice. What about Casimir?
I'm on week 15.
I suppose I'll probably start piloting.
Okay, that is a good one to have. I think. So I know Zerzy, you've got Pilot 0, don't you?
Yeah.
So you got a backup co-pilot if you need.
Okay.
One of you. Well, I mean, Casimir can slot softs. You just plug in a USB. But really, one of you probably is going to want. Well, you've got engineering J drive covered. Casimir's got piloting covered. Astrogation is the other one that would
I
be.
have astrogation at 2.
Okay, so
Wow.
yeah, so I mean, he's having to do all of the.
Well,
all
again,
of it,
I got sorry, I should say I got astrogation 1, and then the expert soft gives me a +1 to DM. So
right.
yeah, so
I can do electronics.
That's true. I mean, electronic sensors is the other important one for operating a starship, and comms sometimes.
I have comms of 1. It's probably sufficient.
Well, yeah, but the problem is if you're piloting, it's hard.
Yeah, I can't do comms. Yeah, that's also true.
It's
Yeah.
hard to do comms and piloting at the same time without taking a pretty heavy hit. And I was going to say that comms are important, obviously, but they're gonna if what you're seeing is true, that there is the movement towards possibly a new frontier war, then the issue is probably comms is going to become more important because you could theoretically be moving through areas that might be experiencing jamming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so a week in jump, and you guys make it out at Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth, to tell you about Elizabeth, this is like the third time I've looked at this planet today, but look at it one more time because I forget the world creation stuff. You know, I know that these world creation codes are supposed to make things a little bit easier. They don't. Like they don't. But it is about 6,400 kilometers in diameter, so it's roughly the size of Mars. It has a 0.35 surface gravity. It has 426. Very thin, tainted atmosphere with a pressure that alternates between 0.1 and 0.42. Respirator or filter is required when you're out of doors down on the planet. But you don't need a full vac suit. Just a respirator and a filter should be fine. It does have. Did I say 4.6? Oh, I'm sorry, 4.26. The odd thing is that it does have large oceans on the planet that do have some sea life in them, and then 4.67. So it has probably a population. It says tens of thousands. Does it expand on that at all? Not much. There's probably about 40,000 people on this colony. It's not a high population density. And of those 40,000, you would probably guess a good few of them are employed in some manner operating between the colony on the planet and the high port. Uh, Government's captive government, which is pretty normal. Ruling functions performed by an imposed leadership, answerable to an outside group. It's a colony, yeah, and I don't know who they're a colony of. Who's the big boss? Nobody. I don't know who they're
And
calling. Yeah,
they're closer to the Imperial space rather than Sword World.
yeah. I mean, they. I don't see anybody here. Maybe Talchak, Grote, maybe. Grote's got a Class A starport and a high tech level, so maybe it's Grote. But yeah, they're a colony. And then the last but not least, they do have a law level of 7. which means shotguns and anything lower than that are outright banned. Let's see, shotguns, even stunners are discouraged. Personal concealed weapons, light assault weapons and submachine guns, military weapons, portable energy and laser weapons, poison gas explosives, undetectable weapons, and WMDs are all banned. And mesh, cloth, flak, combat armor, and battle dress are banned on the world. So they've got a pretty high, pretty high law level. Bladed weapons and stunners are pretty much allowed, but pretty much everything else. Let's see. Does it say? Doesn't say that you can't have like a slug weapon in a holster. But anything bigger than a pistol is going to be frowned upon. And I mean, things like Gauss pistols are really questionable because I mean they are full auto, and so does that count as a military weapon? You know, there's some question there, but laser pistol that Zerzy carries, that's going to lead to a possible arrest. And but he pulls in the scanner pulls into this high port, and there are a number of trade ships moving in and out of the port. Whoever would like to can make an electronics sensors check plus intellect or education.
Oh, electronics.
Nice. Here, and I'll tell you what you see. There is a far trader in system. The Vitaki is pinging as the Vitaki. It is a typical A2 class far trader. Pretty typical. There is a subsidized merchant in system, the Bowman Calypso, and there is another free trader, Beowulf class free trader, the Grand Empire of the Stars. And according to the last notes so when your IFF is pinged by the station and you dock, the engineers and deck crews can leave some notes. One of the notes states that while grandly named, the ship is poorly maintained, and it is registered out of the Bowman arm. So it's a little bit of a long ways from home. Considering that a free trader is only a J1 ship. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and that's not including refueling times, probably closer to like 9 weeks. So yeah, those are the ships that are in system. And so the ship comes in and docks at this high port. And Magnus goes ahead and immediately sets up calling out for the ship's dockyards to send over auditors to kind of look over the shuttle and give him an estimate on costs and whatnot. And he essentially tells you that you're you basically have liberty, and if there are any trade deals that you want to conduct while you're here, feel free. There are, like I said, a lot of trade ships that are coming and going through here that are either heading for Glisten or Kaaniis. So there is quite a bit of speculative trade that would be available if you wanted to roll the dice on that, quite literally. And so, how are you guys gearing up? What are your plans for your stay on the high port? You're going to be here for about 2 weeks.
Do they have generic there?
Do they have a generic bar and grill? Probably, yeah. I mean, at a Class B starport, there's going to be, of course, an Advantage hotel. There's going to be an Astro Burger, probably a generic bar and grill. I don't see Elizabeth having anything like a brew house tavern or anything like that.
All right. Well, Audrey would want to go to generic and have a tray
So
of the
there,
patties and devour them.
okay. So the other thing to note about Elizabeth is that there is a small Imperial naval base at the high port. And it was kind of a joint venture with the people of the system and the Imperial Navy to kind of construct this Class B starport. There is actually there is a rather small hostel that is available from the Travelers Aid Society.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's where I'll be staying, and anybody is free to, I'm allowed to say guests, so.
Right. Wow, you scored a TAS invite.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've
So,
only ever had one traveler character that had gained that, and they are highly useful.
Yeah. But
And
well,
so,
as far as making money, I don't actually know how the hell do you make money in this game beyond trading? I mean,
sometimes you get paid for these little side missions. Other times it is pretty much through trade. You can roll to see what's available in port. Other things that you can do, and this we will metagaming. We'll be getting into a lot more of that trade and different types of trade in the future. But one of the surefire ways for a ship crew to make money, aside from passengers and cargo, is mail. So these green lines are actually export routes. And you'll note that they don't go everywhere.
right.
And so there are there is mail that needs to be sent. And so a lot of what most of these worlds that are off of the export routes will do will be to say, well, here is a 200-ton data canister. Basically, it just looks like a drum that is filled with electronics, and it is highly secure. And these messages and mail are electronic letters and whatnot are stored in this drum, and your job is to, if you're heading in that direction, why not take the mail? And it's a surefire paycheck every time. So mail's a big one.
Right, but that requires the ship to leave the port. I was more referring to are there okay, my character has engineering, he has mechanic, he has medic. Is there are there essentially moonlight positions that I can take
for 2 weeks? Yeah, you could probably. I mean, this is a colony. If you wanted to sign on for a position with their medical staff, you could probably. What's your medic at?
My medic is at my medic is at where to go. My medic is at 2. Plus, I come with my own medical scanner, my own medikit, trauma kit, and 12 chips for the 12 species chips with.
So medic 2 is actually pretty good. To give you an idea of what those numbers really mean, at 0, that just means that you are competent. It's basically like when you're in the military and they're like, okay, you are now certified for driving the M1 Abrams. Doesn't mean you're good at it. It means that you know how to do it.
You know where the buttons are. You know what the levers do. Yeah.
Right. That's it. So at Medic 1, you would be probably the equivalent of a fairly decent, family practice type doctor. At Medic 2, you'd probably be a possibly a trauma surgeon or working in an ER. At Medic 3, now you're good enough that people from across the world on a single planet are going to be coming to you. You are like the doctor to the stars. The high and mighty are coming to you to fix their ailments. At Medic 4, now you are such a good doctor that people from across the subsector are coming to you, if not the entire sector of space. And so you are probably at Medic 4, you would be, in addition to all the doctoring that you're doing, you're also probably doing media circuits and interviews, and you probably get a position working
symposiums.
For symposiums. A news station probably keeps you on retainer as their medical expert, shit like that. So
okay.
So yeah, it quickly advances. Really, beyond 4 for any skill is almost pointless. Because, I mean, you're basically at that point, you're like some kind of fucking prodigy, right? So, so yeah, at Medic 2, that's pretty good.
Yeah, okay, so I guess I'll just do that.
Okay, so you're going to sign on with local doctor. What's your plan, Zerzy, for this 2-week stay on Elizabeth? I mean, you've basically been given liberty for the 2 weeks, and you were told that, if you want to do some trading and try to make some money, feel free. He's not gonna say no to that. But
probably do live in a high life because I'm a rich bastard. But also doing a little bit of I don't want to say subterfuge, but maybe some harmless listening on comms and stuff like that, and see if there's anything that sticks out.
So the first
maybe looking for some more robots to turn into my army. You never know.
Sure. So the first day that the three of you are there, the first stop, of course, Astro Burger to grab some food that isn't reconstituted protein out of the ship's kitchen, and you are approached by this guy, Zerzy. You can make a Recon Plus social check, which is a little odd, but you'll see why.
I got a 7.
So, looking at this guy, the way he walks, the way he carries himself, the way he's dressed, the suit that he's wearing is tailored. It is not of something that you would buy locally. He's got jewelry. He's got a signet ring. This guy's, if he's not noble, he's way up. And he comes into the Astro Burger, and he looks completely out of place in an Astro Burger. And he comes stepping up to you three and holds out his hand and introduces himself. Hello, and I want to welcome you to Elizabeth. My name is Lord Penford Farnham Blinderby. My old chums back at the old school used to refer to me as Penny. He kind of does after shaking all of your hands, he does a flourishing kind of bow and basically tells you that he is the Baron of Elizabeth, which immediately the first thought that would come to mind was like, so not much. You're the Baron of a
I mean, I'll still get up and do my flourishes because I'm also noble and introduce myself. But besides being noble, I also am intelligence officer of the Scander, currently docked.
And this is what Lord Blinderby looks like. He's actually fairly young, and he essentially tells you that he returned home from. He goes into this long-winded, flourishing, sad story about how he returned home from university about 5 years ago, and he tells you, he goes, that he has he has inherited the family residence down on the planet side in one of the agrodomes, and that is basically where he holds court. He's basically a feudal lord. There are a number of um, other families that work his land, more or less. And he tells you, he goes, I'm just terribly, terribly bored. He goes, and you three chaps just came in, and uh, you looked quite interesting, and I wanted to introduce myself. And he says, are you having enough to eat? I'd be perfectly happy to do another order, or perhaps we should go someplace better.
I'll have another burger.
So yeah, he orders you another burger, and he puts it on his tab.
Oh, thank you.
You know of a fine establishment on this spaceport?
He says, well, a fine establishment, not up here on the high port. Mostly this is, I mean, he goes, it is what it is. And he says, you've probably seen several of these in your line of work. He goes, I would love to see more of them, personally, just to see them. But the high port is really geared towards trade and ships that are moving through. So you're going to find bars, you're going to find a couple of brothels, and you're going to find gambling houses. He says, I think that that's all very interesting, but after having seen them numerous times myself, I'm kind of bored with them. He tells you, see here. He tells you, he says, it's interesting that you bring that up. He says, because I've kind of had this idea of wanting to make Elizabeth attractive to tourists. He goes, and I know what you're going to say. There's nothing down there. But I am the lord of several agricultural domes, and there is one near my residence that has a number of rolling fields that I believe would make an excellent golf course. And he says, but he says, I really could use the help of someone to convince, and there's a respected architect that I could really use the help of convincing to come actually look at this area and draw up a design for me. Perhaps you chums would be willing to help out an old chap like myself.
Yes, we want to help you.
I'm like twice your age, my lord.
He says, well, you know what they say, age is just a number. He says, in fact, he goes, there's no reason that you should be, sleeping aboard the quarters of your ship. Well, I would like to invite all the three of you to come down, and you can stay at Blinderby Manor.
How about my personal robotic servant Clanker? Can he come too?
Absolutely. He kind of looks over Clanker and he goes, "This is a marvel of engineering. I would absolutely love to have you and Clanker stay at Blinderby Manor."
Well, after we finish eating, if my comrades have no issue, I have no problem going there, and I will even bring you a gift.
Oh, gifts are not required. Just I would enjoy the company. That's the only gift I need.
As you wish, my lord.
So what about Casimir? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not about to refuse, although he does feel a little, sheepish about the whole thing. Like, these people are real fancy, but yeah, he'll be like, well, thank you very much for the offer, your barrenness.
just say, my lord. It's easier.
Well, my lord, yes, thank you.
So he has his own shuttle, a small launch. And brings you down to Blinderby Manor. Now, Blinderby Manor, it is the out of as you're coming down to the surface, you see that there are a number of agricultural domes that are set up, and there some of these domes are like kilometers in size. They're huge, and you can see that the design of the glass dome over them is designed to kind of amplify or uh, augment whatever sunlight that it gets. And he brings you inside through one of the docking rings of this agriculture dome and lands his ship on his property. And inside the agriculture dome, it is well manicured lawns. There are a number of farms here. There's probably like 4 or 5 farms. He's got land around his estate, and the actual building itself. He tells you that his great grandfather. When they were granted the title of nobility for Elizabeth, that they were when they granted this land, his great grandfather purchased this prefab home out of a catalog, and Ling Standard Products catalog, and had it delivered, and it has been their estate home and manor ever since. And this, I mean, it is, despite the fact that it is obviously an older prefab, it is the largest house that you have seen in the area. It's got an atrium in the middle, and it's immense for a prefab. And he's got a private landing pad here, and ushers you guys inside, and immediately goes over and pours you all a drink of high-end Denebian scotch. And there is he's got a piano, a robotic piano that he just tells it to play something, and it plays, and he can tell it to increase or decrease the volume. I mean, this is a fancy place, and of course he's got butlers and maids and manservants, and there's just a plethora of staff, and they have plenty of guest rooms. And so he tells you, you know, feel free to pick a room and make yourselves at home. So he tells you that essentially that like 2 agrodomes over, there is this other rather rich individual, and he is a architect who is well known for working on landscape jobs, and he would like to hire this guy in order to design a golf course for him. The problem is that nobody is taking him seriously that he wants to build this golf course. It's not a matter of money. Obviously, Lord Blinderby has plenty of money. It's that nobody thinks that he's going to see it through to the end. And he really thinks that if there was something like a golf course here, that they could bring in tourism from the nobility and really kind of start to put Elizabeth on the map. And so he would like for you guys to go over and kind of talk with this gentleman and convince him to work with Lord Blinderby. And I think that's where we're going to break. We will be off for the next 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year's. And so this is our last game of 2025, which sounds weird. I can't believe this year is over already, but here we are.
Sorry, one thing. I am actually going to be out on the 7th.
Okay. Let me
look
at...
It is Russian Orthodox Christmas, so...
Oh, yeah, you can't miss that. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I celebrate both Christmases.
Hooray!
Okay, double Christmases.
So you will be out on the 7th. I think that we'll run through. So yeah, that is what it's looking like. Looks like we will be back on January 7th with our first game of the new year.
Can Audrey bring her dirt bike down to the planet?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, he'll probably want to take it for a ride as well.
Sweet.
Please don't kill the Lord.
I can't promise anything.
That's the other thing he tells you. He tells you, of course, that if you can convince this architect, that you will be handsomely paid for assisting him. He realizes he realizes that you guys do need to make money, and so he says that he will reward you for it.
I wasn't here. What's the tech level of this planet, by the way?
It is 8.
Okay.
So he has a higher tech level, obviously, because he's a nobleman, and he just kind of he buys
Yes,
whatever he
then.
wants. He orders it.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'll
we-
think of
Okay.
something in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Well,
thank
then
you very much for
see you
running.
next time.
you were
Yep,
very
happy
welcome.
holidays.
Yes, Merry Christmas
Happy
and Happy New
holidays.
Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, Crazy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, all that stuff.
All of it.
All of it, just all of it. All the winter holidays at the same time.
Yes. All right, you guys. I will see you next year.
Yeah, see you next year.
All right, sounds good.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night.